Two, and one.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning into another episode of the Belief Breakthrough Show. Oh, I just did something. I just touched the wrong button. My my name is Tina Encarnacion, and I am your host in this show. I am an author, a motivational speaker, as well as a healer. And I am so grateful that you came on today. We are in the month of November, and this month we are focusing on self-love. As we head into the holidays, we tend to be completely drained. Some of us fall into depression. We have issues with loss of family members, and we don't want to do this month. We really want to lean on ourselves, fill our cup, make it overflowing, and be able to love ourselves through the holidays this year. And
Yes.
so I brought on Rochele Henderson.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Hi.
She is the visionary founder of Created Wonderfully. And she is a ball of energy. I thought I had a lot of energy till I met her. I can't even keep up with her.
Yeah, thank you.
You are very welcome. From the second I met Rochele, she just poured out with empowerment and grace and positivity. And I was so grateful that God brought her into my life. And she has been a blessing ever since we met. And so when I decided to make November Self Love Month, I knew I needed to have her on this show, because if anyone can talk to us about self love and how to care for yourself properly, it is this amazing woman. So, with that being said, can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and how you became the founder of Created Wonderfully?
I can tell you. Hold on for 1 second. I want to make sure I don't have an echo. It happened in about 2016, 2015. And so the purpose of Creative Wonderfully was really simple. I didn't realize I had a calling on my life when it came to women and God's daughters. So I was actually the women's ministry leader at my previous church, and my heart for the women at that particular church was, I can't explain it, but God gave me a call, and it was really simple. My daughters are broken. I need you to help heal them. It was real simple. I'm sticking to what He says. So my whole goal is that for us as women, we don't understand that we are the heart of our house, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the heart of the house does not have an irregular heartbeat, it makes everything wrong. So that means your kids are not right. Your husband, if you're married, is not right, because we're the heart of the house. So my job is to really to get the heart beating right, because no matter what we're going through, once you are in alignment with yourself, you can handle anything. That's basically where we going with that.
Absolutely. So, and that's so true. When you are out of alignment with yourself, everything inside and around you is messed up. I lived most of my life out of alignment. And now that I'm living in my alignment, I feel free, literally free.
So. I had a lady, a mentor, when she told me that the woman is the heart of the house. That was so defining to me. She said, it doesn't matter if you're single, it doesn't matter if you're married, you can have the best husband in the world, but you are the heart of the house. And once your heart is right, you can begin to handle everything that's in order. So if the mother is sad, the children are sad. Everything is based on us as women. And I don't think we understand just how powerful we really are.
That's very true. Absolutely. Yeah. Just like they say, a happy wife is a happy life.
That part. That's really true. So since I'm not married, but you being happy, it just makes the difference. That any stress that comes your way is going to be a different reaction, because you are in alignment and you can handle it. So I really believe that with all my heart. I do.
Absolutely. Yeah. And for everyone watching right now, you can comment in below and we can see your comments. We can answer your questions. We can give shout outs to you if you let us know that you're watching. So please feel free to comment below and let us know you're with us. Let us know that you're feeling what we're saying, and share with us also what you feel and believe in. So let me ask you this, Rochele. What is self-love to you?
Okay. So I wrote it down because I actually did a paper on self-worth, right? Because oh, it's self-worth. But in order to get the self-worth, I came up with these things that we needed to do. And one of them was self-love. Now, when I started looking up the word self-love, I was actually, my feelings was hurt because they made self-love look like something negative, as if it's conceited, that it's this selfish, that it's your, I was like, wait, no, that's not what self-love means. Because I was telling young girls that they needed to have self-love. But when I looked up the dictionary, I was like, wait a minute, they gonna think I'm crazy because it's so negative, right? Self-love, I wrote it down. Because I wanted to make sure I get this right. Self-love is accepting and embracing all of yourself, including your imperfection and or your flaws, without judgment, degrading, or putting yourself down. That's my definition of love. So once you get to that point of self-love, and it says, as I researched self-love, I was honestly surprised by all of the negative definitions that define self-love. Egotistical, conceited, vain, narcissist. I'm like, wait a minute. This can't be true. And that's why I was like, that's not what I'm talking about. You have to love all of yourself, flaws and all, because we're not perfect. Even though we use filters and all this other stuff with social media, we all have imperfections. So once you can accept and embrace all of yourself without judgment, degrading, and putting yourself down, that's self-love for me. So that's
absolutely. I
Yes.
love that. For me, I see self-love as putting myself first, and a lot of people do say that's conceited and selfish.
Right?
But if I don't put myself first, if I don't
Come on.
fill my cup up, I can't give anything to anyone except for fumes.
That's
And
part.
just like a car,
Yes.
you can't run on fumes.
Isn't that crazy? But that's the part we don't get. And so now I realize why so many women, excuse me,
Mhm.
don't want self-love because of what you just said. We're narcissists, you're conceited, you're thinking about just you. But that's why I go back to self-love, heart of the house. When you're okay, your house is okay because you know who you are. Then you can begin to show that, because everything that we do is a reaction, especially with our children, right? So if your daughter sees you're putting everyone in front of you, she's going to do exactly what you do, right? It's a domino effect. So we have to know who we are so we can share the love with everybody. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is. So a Facebook user, they didn't share their name with us, but they said being unapologetically is that you are the essence of self-love. So kudos to you.
And you know what? I thank you for that. And that's my role in life, to uplift women, right? So this is a difference. So this is a PSA, public service announcement. So you don't get confused. A conceited person, a conceited woman would never uplift anyone because it's always about her. But a confident woman, come on now, we need confident women. A confident woman is going to uplift you. She wants to let you know that you are created wonderfully. She wants to empower you. She wants you to know these things. So I am a confident woman, far from conceited. It's my job to lift up girls and women to know that you need to let your light shine unapologetically all day, every day.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you, has there ever been a time in your life where you did not hold yourself to that standard, where you did not love yourself appropriately, and where you were not honoring yourself? And what did that look like?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, this everything. I'll be 50, Lord's willing, I'll be 55 in December. And as I look back over my life, it was the things that I had to go through to get to this point. So everything I'm telling you is I was not that person. I had to grow into that person. I used to be 500 pounds. So with that being said, I was trying to eat my way out of stuff. I always used to put everybody in front of me because that's how I saw unfortunately, I saw how friends, how women that I look up to, that's what they did. So it was normal for us to not put everyone first. To be honest with you, it was abnormal to put everyone, to put everyone behind me. So I did not have great self-esteem. I was a yes girl, always said yes to everyone because I didn't want anybody to not like me. So I would just say yes all the time. And that's not what I wanted to do. So yes, I was broken. My first marriage, I was broken. I wanted him to do for me what I couldn't do for myself. And that was to tell myself, I wanted him to validate me. And I just want y'all to know, no one can validate you but yourself. So this has been a growing trend, very transparent about my life. I've learned so much, and no, did not wake up like this. This is through trial and error, but this is also of ownership and realizing that everything that I've been through is for a purpose for me right now in order for me to share it with another woman so she can be able to grow. So if I didn't go through Tina, if you ask me, and I've been through some stuff, but if you ask me, would I take it back? The answer is no, right? Because if none of that happened to me, I wouldn't be the woman who I am today. So everything that I went through, I was date raped in college. I didn't even know it was date rape because I didn't even know what the definition what was of rape was. As far as date rape, you think rape is when you get a stranger or not. No. It was my friend's boyfriend, right? But everything that I've been through in my life, I wouldn't ask God to take anything back. Because if you took any part of my life back, I wouldn't be who I am today. So I do not regret anything that I've been through at all.
Absolutely. And I'm sure, just like me, I've been through quite a bit as well. And you learn to be grateful for it, because you can either be grateful or you can be bitter. And really, do you want to live in the negative or do you want to live in the positive? What lessons do you want to choose to put in that backpack of yours and carry through life? And I did live, half my life, maybe more than half my life, I've lived in bitterness and despair and hatred. And I've gotten to a point, you as well, where I'm done. I'm done carrying all of this negativity and allowing it to hold me down, because when you hold on to that negativity, it weighs you down, like literally a weight on your shoulder. You feel suffocated and you feel like life is not worth living. But when you can transition that to positivity, you feel free, you feel light. You can finally connect and love, and you can love others.
And here's the other thing. You can look at it two ways. I always tell people this. God gave us something called free will, right? And I look at a glass. I don't have a glass here. You got two ways to look at that glass. You can look at that glass half empty or half full. You can choose which way you want. Just like you were saying, lessons learned. Anything that I go through, I'm asking myself the question, what did I learn from it? If I learned anything from it, it's not a disappointment. It was not in vain. I just choose to look at a glass half full all the time. I'm not going to look at it half empty. I just can't. So whatever I go through, I ask the question, what was it trying to teach me? And what am I learning from this? So always, definitely.
Absolutely. Liz is in the house. She's saying she loves us. What's up, Liz? So another thing is, how do you turn that negativity into positivity? And like you said, you look for those lessons. Another thing that I think women especially tend to do is we get out of one negative situation and we jump right back into the same situation, but in a different mask, right? And so if you're doing that, it means you're missing the lesson, and that's why you're repeating it.
Right. It is the saying. It says that the lesson would come back until you learn the lesson. So if you're not learning the lesson, it's going to keep coming back until you learn the lesson. So it's kind of like what even we're going through right now in the United States. We haven't learned the lessons from the past. So the same thing that we went through years ago, we're still going through it. Why? Because we have not learned the lesson. So with women, we think, we would jump into another relationship to think that that's going to take that other relationship from you. And I just want to let you know, nobody can help you forget somebody. Oh, that's a word for somebody else. Nobody can help you forget that other somebody. Come on. No, you need to sit in it. You need to heal. If it hurts, you need to mend. But if you jump from one relationship to the other relationship to make sure you don't forget that relationship that you got out of, now you're going to be in the same relationship. We just got a different color, a different flavor, but it's the same thing. Definitely.
And you can do that with jobs as well. A lot of people will say, I'm miserable at this job. So they go get a new job and they're like, I hate this job too. It's because you're not learning the lesson. You have to look for that lesson. And then even if it's a negative lesson, if you're learning, you need to figure out how to flip that to the positive, because you're not the victim, honey. You're choosing to be the victim. You can choose not to. You can choose to be the victor. So it's your choice.
That part. I think I told one person, I said, every relationship you've been, I'm talking platonic and relationship, how are you always the victim? I was like, no, no. I said, it can't be them because you're the common denominator with them. And every answer with every person is kind of the same. So it can't be them, boo. I think you got to own your ownership. But
Right.
until we own, like for instance, instead of being the victim, like you just stated, until you can own that, because it's not a good feeling to own your stuff. It's not a good feeling when you say, Rochele, this your fault. But you have to own it, and that's where you learn your lesson, right? So until you
Absolutely.
learn that lesson, you're gonna be doing the same stuff over and over again because it's always, and I always talk to, especially because women is my heart. I don't want to talk about them. Don't come with me about those people. Because my question is, well, why are you allowing it? You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's that self-check. They do me wrong. No. Why do you allow them to do you wrong is the question.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that's that half empty, half full. We just got to own our stuff.
It's,
Yeah.
yes, taking responsibility, taking ownership. I did that a lot. A lot of my life I spent on poor, pitiful me. Everyone's against me. Nobody likes me. And then I realized, well, I'm not that nice to be around anyways. What's wrong with me? Like, I need to fix this. If I don't want to spend time with myself, ain't nobody else want to spend time with me either. So let me
That
go inside. Let me look at my heart. Let me look at all my wounds. Let me look at my scars. Let me stop throwing myself a pity party and let me begin to love myself the
come
way
on.
I'm wanting everyone else to love me, because that's the issue with us, especially as women, is we are trying to find our happiness in others. We're trying to find our validation from others. We're trying to find our fulfillment from others. But
Listen,
nobody can fix you except for you. Except for
wait,
you.
I think Tina, well, I'm just gonna hear to validate everything you're saying. Come on now, girl, let's go. Because that's it right there. It's the ownership. And I'm telling you, know what though, and this is the women out there. Is it easy? No. I don't think you heard me and Tina tell y'all one time to get to this place where we are, it was easy. It was
Oh,
nice. I know
hell
she,
no. Hell
you know,
no.
it's some nice. I know she cried, right? It's some nice. I know I cried. It's some nice.
It's
I
the
was mad.
ugly cries. The ugly cry.
Right, in the shower, crying for no reason in the tub. But what it is that, but once you begin to own your stuff, and this way, self love is accepting, embracing all of yourself, right, without judgment. So that means that the stuff that happened that I did in my past, I still love myself without judging myself. Because you know what you have to realize? That's just that was the best I had at that time in my life.
Absolutely.
That was the best I could do at that time in my life. So once you realize that that was the best you could do at that time in your life, because that's where you were, own it. Don't make excuses for it.
Absolutely.
Just say, that's who I was at that time, but I'm better now. That's
Hmm.
where your healing takes place, is when you realize that it's okay. That's where I was. The mess that I went through 20 years ago, 10 years ago, that's just where I was. And I can't take anything from that. I'm not gonna beat myself about that. I had to look at where I was in my spirit at that time in my life. Now, what can I do better? And that's how you heal.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. I believe it with
Absolutely.
all my heart. Yes, I
Absolutely.
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jamil says you have to take full ownership. You absolutely do. You
That's
absolutely
my
do.
sister. That's my sister. Hi,
So
sister.
so let's
But you
talk
know
about
what?
taking
Go
let's
ahead.
talk about taking full ownership though, because that is a challenge. That is a challenge. Let me tell you, I have recently gone through this phase where I've had to take full ownership of myself and all I've done in my past. And like you said, in your past, that was your past. You were a different person, a different time. You've learned new lessons. You've changed. You've grown. That's a human. That's what you are as a human. You are growing and changing and expanding your entire life. But in
Yes.
that process, you are stepping over people. You are hurting people. You are building yourself up on other people's backs. And
Come
that's how you
on.
learn and you grow. And so you
Come
have to take
on.
ownership of that. You have to take ownership, because you can't sit here and say, I am the person I am today without hurting anybody. I am the person I am today without causing anyone else harm. I am the person I am today with walking in these shoes perfectly, gracefully,
Right.
mercifully, right? Because you can't. That's just
Now
not
you
life. It's not reality.
what you said is even better. Then you even have to take ownership when you've hurt somebody and they choose not to be in a relationship with you no more.
Absolutely.
Hear me. Meaning that you can,
Absolutely.
just because you say I'm sorry to somebody, that does not mean they have to accept your sorry.
Mm-mm.
Or better yet,
Absolutely
they
not.
may say to you, Rochele, I thank you for so much for the apology, but I choose not to have a relationship with you. And you know what I got to say? I got to put on my big girl drawers. Okay, I'm on panties, bloomers, whatever you want them to be. And I got to own that because of what I did, because of the hurt that I did to that person. I got to accept what they say. And they'll be saying, but why? I told you I was sorry. No, I got to own 100% of it. That means that if that person says that, and the only thing I can say is, you know what? I understand. I respect you and I wish you well. That's it. I can't get mad
That's it.
because that's
No,
my
you can't.
but see,
Right.
that's that ownership part you talking about that we don't want. We don't want to do that. No, that's me
Absolutely.
saying I made a mistake. I did hurt her, and now because of my choices, even though that was not my intent, it doesn't matter. That's what that person experienced, and if they choose not to accept my apology, hey, there's nothing I could do, and just say lessons learned. Don't do that again. That's what you just.
Absolutely. And
That's it.
then you need to take it a step further because after they say, and I just had this actually with my little sister, I've hurt her deeply our entire life. She's hurt me.
Okay.
We've hurt each other. And so I actually did just message her and say, hey, I'm really sorry for what I've done. I apologize. I hope you can forgive me. And her response was, I thank you for apologizing. I do forgive you, but I don't think we'll ever have a relationship again. So
Wow.
I did have to own up to, I had to eat those words. And
Um,
what I can tell you is I was able to find peace in that, but also I had to then go deep and love myself through it
yes.
because it leaves
Yes.
a hole. It
Yes, it
leaves
does.
a hole. And so you have to learn to eat crow because it is your fault, right?
Eat it, right?
And not point fingers, not say, well, you're wrong because I forgive you. So you're right. I did that. And I understand you don't want that relationship. And I'm still going to love myself though. I'm
Yeah.
still going to respect myself. I'm still going to take my responsibility. And thank you. I respect your wishes. Like you said, have a great life.
I wish you well. It's because it's really nothing you can, because that person has that right to say that. And I think a lot of times we think just because we said I'm sorry that that's automatically things are going to go back
Right.
the way it were. No, it may she may, they may say, you know what, I thank you for that, but I still need some time to marinate on this. I'll let you know. You still have to respect and give those people the space that they need because you have to own. And then so that's why that experience, how can that help someone else? You're going to meet someone who's going through the same thing you're going through or considering doing it. Then you can say, well, you know what? I can't tell you how your end will be, but let me share with you how my end was.
Right.
I've lost my sister because of the things that I did and the pain that I caused her. Now, you're not there yet. You may not want to go that route, but one thing the person can't say is that nobody ever told them.
Absolutely.
Nobody can ever say,
Absolutely.
but no one know. Tina shared with you her story. You chose to still do it. That's fine. But at least someone was nice enough and honest enough to tell you that their experience that didn't end up right, was it worth it? So I definitely agree with you on that. Come on. It's
Absolutely.
right. Yes,
Absolutely. And so then when you go through something like that, I love that Liz says, I'm sorry is not the end at all or the end all be all. You're right.
correct.
It takes time. Wounds take time to heal. And
Correct.
so there it's never a final no, but right now it's a not right now, right?
Correct.
It's a
Correct.
no is not a no, no is a not right now. Time isn't right, right? And so at that point, what do you do to love yourself through it? How do you love yourself through the pain? Because we carry a lot of pain as women. In fact, we don't want to just carry our own pain.
Every
Naturally, as a woman, we're like, oh, I'll take that off of you. I'll take a little bit of this. Oh, that looks a little
everything.
heavy on you. So I'll take all of that.
Yes.
Right? How do you love yourself through this? How do you care for yourself? How do you nurture yourself? How do you fill that cup when you're taking more than you can even chew yourself? Your own pain is enough. This
Right.
life gives you enough pain.
I
How
think
do
I
you
think
love yourself?
going back to what you said is that how do you begin to love and forgive yourself if your relationship ends? And to me, that can be like the grieving process because that relationship that you was once in is now considered dead, right?
Mhm.
So it's gonna come those emotions that come with grief. You're grieving the relationship of a loss of a best friend, of a relative, of a sister, or whatever. So you first got to understand that you're going to have these different emotions. There is no way that you're not going to. That could be,
Absolutely.
you may feel sad, you may feel angry, you may feel this, and you have to sit in those emotions, right? You have to sit in it. I think the biggest problem we have is that we don't want to sit in it. We just want to jump and go. And that's why it
Or
keeps
stuff
coming.
it.
Or we knock it down, right? And so if you never sit into it, and then you may have to journal this thing and write why you feeling this way. Well, what could I have done differently? But where was I at in my life when I did all this stuff to her? You know what I'm saying? You just have to be honest. I think the biggest part of is that being honest about everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We can talk about the good, but we don't want, because we're not perfect people, right? And if I did something that was really bad to someone, I got the no excuses. I got the 100% own, period, it, exclamation point. And I think that's the part that we don't want to do because it's painful. But once you own it, you got to take some deep breaths on it, because it could engulf your heart. That wasn't my intention, but this is what I did. Why did I do that? How can I be better so I don't do this again? I just think we have to, when you start writing down that ugly part of us, because we all got some ugly part of us. I'm talking to all y'all out there. You got some ugly part here. Yeah, okay. And we got to own that part of us and then figure out, now how can I be better the next time around? Because
absolutely,
you learn from it. I don't think it's any other way to learn through that grieving, that anger, because then you're gonna say you're not good enough. Why did I do this? And I think sometimes we may not have all the answers, Tina, because we may not know. And the thing is that we could have lashed out at that person, not really lashing out at that person, but it's some stuff going on with us that we don't even know we got going on inside of us, right? Because you've been, especially if like me, I'm learning just through you how it could be stuff that I snap at people and it ain't got nothing to do with them. It got some stuff that's embedded in me from happened to me from childhood, and it triggered me. And I done went the hell off on somebody that I'm like, where that come from? And I don't even know where it came from, right? Because it's some stuff inside of me that I haven't even dealt with. But because of me not dealing with my stuff, I can damage future relationships. I can damage this relationship. So we have to go, do you really want to know the truth is the question. Now, I don't know. This is my motto in life. Ye should know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. It doesn't matter how ugly that truth is, it's still your truth. And once you begin to deal with that truth, that's how you become free, unapologetically free. So you got to deal with the truth that you may have been molested as a kid. You know what I'm saying? It's the things that we don't know that's inside of us that's acting a plumb fool. And we're just going off on people because I was like, how did you go off on that little, like it was something this little, right? And you went straight left. I'm like, well, where did that come from? Child, it ain't got nothing to do with Big Tina or Big Rochele. That's that little girl that been acting a fool. She's just going off. So you got to own all of it. You do.
Absolutely. So let's dig into that, because as we grow up, we tend to stuff. We get taught as children to stuff and stuff and stuff. Get over that, lock it off, grow some balls, shake it off, right? And we're taught stuff. Don't deal with it. Don't sit there in it. They don't want you to digest your pain. That takes too much time. We ain't got time, right? The world don't have time. So we stuff it and we take our childhood pain that we don't have the life experience to support or digest or understand. Yes. And then we carry it into adulthood with the mindset of the child, hence the inner child work.
I better yet, you hear people say this all the time to grown people. That happened when you was a kid. Get over it. Excuse me?
Get over it.
All the time as adults. We say it all the time. That happened to you when you was a kid. Get over it. How can I get over it? That kid is me. What?
Yes.
That part right there is the craziness that we do.
Yes. And
And you're
then,
right, we never taught to deal with it. Go on, Tina,
yes,
you handle that question. That's
and when you don't deal with it, then it manifests in your body. It sets roots. It doesn't go away. You just step over it. You don't unpack it, right? So you
fine.
deal with it, you stuff it, and it goes and it finds somewhere in your body that it feels nice and cozy, and it grows roots, and you fertilize it, you water it, you nurture it through
Wait,
continuing to stuff your pain.
wait a minute. You said you stuff it and fertilize it. You know that vision of fertilizer.
And so
Oh, visual there was there. Not fertilizer. She didn't say soil. She said fertilizer. That's
everything, you do it all.
all that
You
I
make
said.
sure that it grows.
Yes,
And
but
it,
you are 100% correct. That is because I'm a very visual person. But as you was talking about it, I can see that little pain. Right,
mhm,
it's right here in this pocket. I mean, your visualization was on point, and all
right?
our other stuff, you just dump on top of it. Dump on
Yes,
top of it. The
yes,
fertilizer,
the
i.e.,
fertilizer.
the other stuff. And what happens is that so now once what was once this small is now
Mhm.
blossoming into a big oak tree because we've never dealt with the smallness and all the other toxicities on climb on top of it.
Mhm.
Oh my God, that was good. That was a good one, Tina.
Right?
I like that.
You're
I like
welcome.
that
You're
one.
welcome.
Yeah, I like that. You did that one, young
And,
lady. You did.
and then you get to the point where you're an adult now, and now you've got, like you said, that giant oak tree, and you're like, I don't know what that is over there. I don't know.
Come on.
Everyone's got it's from everybody else. You all have the problem. I don't have the problem, but yet you're the one that's passing the tree around. And so
See,
the only way then to go and deal with it is to go back to that age that seed was planted, to
right
relive
there.
in that pain, and to forgive it, to love it, to nurture it, to learn the lesson from it, to thank it for teaching you that lesson, and then
But
to
see,
release it.
but that's what you just said is that you have to go back to that
Mm-hmm.
and deal with it. Is like you that's a fight. That is and this is how I describe stuff. Let me see if I got it. So because I'm visual too. So here you go. So I always do this. This is um this is your block. Your freedom is on this side. What we have a tendency to do is we hit this, we don't like the way it feel, and we go back. And we things look like they're the same, things are getting better, but we hit this, we don't like that pain, we go back. But once we sit into this pain and deal with that pain, we can begin to knock that pain down, and true freedom is on
Mm.
the other side of that pain. But baby, but we got to go through that pain part. And that's the part we don't like. I'm telling you, that's the good, the bad, and that painful part. We don't want to deal with. And are we to make the mistake, or we just go pray and ask God to take it away? He ain't taking nothing away because he wants you to deal with that pain so you can learn a lesson from that pain. God is just like a parent. Sometimes, you tell your kid, you have to let your kid experience some stuff, right? So they can understand
Mm-hmm.
what they're going through. If you as a parent, if we took everything away from our kids, we would handicap them.
Absolutely.
They've never had an experience of nothing because you've taken it all from them. So when they get older, they're waiting on you, mama, to constantly take it and fix it for them. Some stuff that we're going through, was it your fault? No. It was not your fault some stuff happened to you when you was a kid. It is not your fault at all. Never said it was, but it did happen. So why you have to first acknowledge that it happened, right? And once you acknowledge that it happened, what can I do to begin to heal this? It was not your fault, so don't blame yourself. Guilt and shame, them two first cousins, they hang out together all the time to make you feel bad. No,
Yes.
don't not have shame, do not have guilt. Just say this happened to me, but it doesn't define me. Come
Oh, I
on.
love that. I love that. Yes.
It don't
Yes.
define you. It just don't define you. It does not define
Mm-hmm.
you.
Absolutely.
Listen, I've been married twice. And I ain't giving up on love, but my two bad marriages would not define me as a woman because each one of my marriages was different.
Mm.
And I've learned, like when I tell you night and day, like night and day. So I did learn from my first one, but the second one was something else that was different, and I've learned lessons that was teachable because I could have easily got, oh my gosh, I've been married twice, oh my gosh, and feel bad, and I was like, no, but what did I learn from it? And I've learned lessons that I know I won't make those mistakes again, but I can't beat myself up because I just chose wrong. I thought I was doing right for the wrong reason. So now I'm
Absolutely.
understanding it now. So definitely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I love
ma'am.
what I love what Liz says. She says, embracing the pain brings strength. That is
Yes, it
so
does.
true.
It does.
Absolutely.
And we're so much stronger than we realize. Oh man.
Mhm.
This is
We
something I'm
really are.
stronger, I'm wiser. I'm so much wiser. I'm telling you, and that's the truth. But no one, when you're going through that, you're like, oh, nobody want to hear that, because you're going through pain. No one likes pain. But I like what Liz
Absolutely.
said, 100% correct on that. So definitely so.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
So it's all about self-love is all about taking responsibility for our pain and the pain we've caused, asking
Yes.
for forgiveness, giving forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
learning the lessons,
Learning the lesson.
and then
Mhm.
loving ourselves through it all. Does that sum it
Now,
up?
yeah. Now you know what you need to do, because as I look over this thing and you was talking about self love, and now I understand what I did for self worth. In order to get to self worth, self
Mhm.
forgiveness is next. So even though we're talking about self love, if you don't know how to forgive yourself, you can't even get to the self love. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's like all of this is working together to get to your worth. So you definitely got to learn how to forgive yourself because you made a mistake. We're not perfect.
Absolutely.
We are so not.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's very true. So that's good, Miss Tina. That's a good thing.
Thank you so much for coming on and sharing the stage with me tonight. It was a joy. I've had so much fun with you all day today.
I know, we had an amazing time. But let me let some people know. But can I let some people know about Creative Wonderfully?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So Creative Wonderfully is a 501c3. And our mission is to empower women and girls to embrace their own truth in order to be their best selves. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's our
Yes.
whole code. And so you can go to imcw.org. That's the short version, or just type in createdwonderfully.org. We have some things we're trying to plan. Miss COVID came and was disrespectful, so she
Oh,
stopped all that stuff. But we're still working, and we're going to start doing Zoom meetings and Zoom self cares. I think next Sunday I'm trying to do something called Girls Check. Just check on my sisters to see how they're doing. And I actually going to have Tina. She don't know it yet, but I've talked to her. She's going to come in and teach us how to, the breathing exercise,
oh,
understanding our breath. I think I asked you to do that, or
you
one of
did.
the
Yes. Uh-huh.
times. I get the dates on that to make sure you are available, but that will be on the Creative Wonderfully side. We do have a Facebook page. So if you would like us, so when we do have the sister check, it'll be a Zoom meeting, understanding your breath, understanding how meditation really does work and helps you bring down a whole lot of ailments in your life. So it's all about us just coming together and loving on each other as women and as sisters.
Yay. I love it. Absolutely. Women empowerment is what I'm all about, as you know.
Oh, I must say this now because my sister is on. Tina, I'm going to introduce you to my baby sister, and we're going to have a conversation too. It's just a beautiful thing. It's all about empowerment and being free, and just, yes, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. Y'all know more about Tina. Y'all hit your girl up, and I'll let you know. Tina is the truth. Exclamation.
Thank you.
I'm serious. She's all in her calling. She's walking it, and she's helping women heal. And she is doing an amazing job. For her to be connected, even how we connected was a blessing. But Tina is the downright truth, and I love her to death. So yes, 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 yes,
Oh,
yes, yes.
thank you. Thank you. I
You are welcome.
appreciate that. Everyone, thank you for watching the Belief Breakthrough Show. And spending some extra time with us. We went a little over, but I thought tonight's topic was amazing, and I thought that we needed to hear it. So just to let all of you guys know, I have finally released my re-energized course, which I've been talking about for quite some time. So if you need to refill your energy. If you need to learn how to properly meditate, how to properly ground, how to protect yourself from other people's energy, if you want to learn how to use the energy of the crystals and the energy of the essential oils and the earth, that course is all about it. You can find it on tinaencarnacion.com or healingbytina.com, and it is out and available tonight. So go ahead and grab yourself a copy, and we will be live again Monday night, 6 p.m. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.